Hello class, it's Emmanuel. Are doing the debate about the Death with Dignity Act. Um, I believe that a patient should have the right to choose whether they want to die. Um, I believe that as part of our life, our bodies is ours to make decisions about it. I believe that it should be personal, and the only opinion that matters is the patient's, because it's the patient's body. I also support a doctor who is reluctant to participate, in administrating the drugs that shorten a person's life. And here today, I have my patient, a personal patient of mine. His name is Ed Lewis. Ed, good evening.
Good evening, Emmanuel.
Okay. First of all, Ed, state your name.
Ed Lewis.
Ed Lewis. And we're going to talk about the Death with Dignity tonight, since I only have.
I'm comfortable with that.
Okay. And I just want you to make sure that you're comfortable with this, and that it's going to be on YouTube for only my class to see it. It's confidential and everything, just between me, you, and the class. Okay. First of all, how old are you?
I am 55 years old.
Good. And as long as I've known you, how or when did your accident happen?
My accident was in July of 1982.
1982. Then actually, tell the class what was the cause of your accident?
It was a diving accident. I dove off of a boat dock that was no higher than 3 feet off of the bay. I was 24 years old at the time. In my 24 years before that, I had been diving off bridges, out of trees,
Wow.
Railroad trestles. It should have happened 100 times before that. And I wind up with a spinal cord injury, diving off of a 3-foot height boat dock.
So,
Which has left me a wheelchair user.
So, Ed, so that's say 30 years of being in rehabs, surgeries, doctor visits, nursing homes. You've seen it all. You've been to most places where most of us probably never don't even want to be. You've seen people come and go. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Well, to be honest with you, man, I'm tired of being a wheelchair user.
Really?
I am. If I died tonight, I'd be happy. I wouldn't do anything to hasten it. However, if it did happen tonight, I would go happy. I think I don't know. I think sad people would be left behind me. But 30 years of being a wheelchair user is enough for me.
Gotcha. You also told me one time that people cause let's say you told me that people that who've been in the wheelchair users for so long. What are the average mortality rate?
I couldn't tell you from Webster's Gray's Anatomy dictionary.
Yeah.
However, people that catch spinal cord injuries in their late teens or early 20s, they rarely make it past 60 the people that I have stayed in touch with through that time, that I knew from rehab and nursing homes, that also received spinal cord injuries at late teens or early 20s. I'm the only one still around.
Wow, God bless, man. God bless.
I don't know, I'm not saying I'm next on the list.
But,
That's up to fate.
Gotcha. Okay, a couple more questions. So where do you stand with the whole Death with Dignity Act?
I'm for it, and if a person who's had a spinal cord injury for 30 years
Yeah.
and are not terminally ill,
Yeah.
similar to myself,
Yeah.
if they wanted to take the injection, I wouldn't be the person to stop them, because that's their personal choice.
Yeah.
Other people with different disabilities or limitations
Exactly.
that cause them frustration daily, I believe if they would want it,
Mm-hmm.
they would be entitled, they should be entitled to end their lives with dignity.
Gotcha. So, yeah, because what I think is like, I mean, I see people at nursing homes too, and I feel sorry for them. I had a patient once with a stroke, and they had only they were feeding them through a tube in the stomach, and one day I went back there, I went back to their house, and they told me that he passed away, and I knew like a couple of days before that the guy that I was taking care of he wasn't really eating very well. He was like kind of throwing up stuff like out of the stomach. I mean, it's just ways that they're living is just not cool, and I honestly I'm for it, and like I don't know, it's a very hard thing to do, but if you put yourself in somebody's shoes, like my friend here, my patient here, I've known him for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just some of the things I've seen is not what most people in the class will want to see or want to ever experience. So honestly, I am totally up for it, and it's what it is. I mean, it's a sad thing to talk about, but you have to realize that it's life, and it's just something you have to look past. I mean, just think of what they're going through, or for pets for that matter. I mean, I've seen pets walking around at another patient's house that, at first he would be barking at me when I get there, and then now he's cancer everywhere, all over his back, his eyes, he can't even see me anymore. He actually lets me pet him, and the hardest thing for that patient's, the owner of the dog, was they had to put him down to ease his pain. So, to make a long story short, before it, and I hope, showing, introducing you to my patient here, who's living what it is to be a wheelchair user for 30 years. This is as close as you can get.
Your analogy with a pet, Emmanuel, I thought was also a good point to bring up of someone
Yeah,
who is unable to make the decision for themselves.
exactly.
Now, who is the family member that would decide, okay, my brother, my sister,
Yes.
my mom, my dad, I want them to receive the injection tonight.
Yes.
I don't have I really don't have a decision on that because I feel it's a personal decision that you should make, that the few states that do allow you
Yeah,
to die
that's,
with dignity,
uh,
you have to be able to say yes. You know, I want to do this, and they explain to you how to do it, and it's something that you can do on your own with your family, however,
exactly.
you know, your family gathered around you, and you just pass away quietly, surrounded by your family, if that's how you choose. And that certainly is death with dignity. And on the other part that we were talking about before we started filming, the doctor or the physician assistant, whatever the person is, that comes out or wants to make the decision to get into that field,
Yeah.
if there are people that don't want to do that, I respect that decision also.
Exactly. So, there you have a class, at Lewis, Emmanuel, signing out, and that's just that's what we feel. Okay. You guys have hope you win. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Good luck.